because you and her BFFs, Tashina. Damn it, bitch. I said let go.
Let's be honest, guys. Having your day one switch up on you gotta be almost every dude's worst nightmare. Whether it's them leaving you for the huzz, or if they deadass stabbing you in the back on some tragic backstory type shit. It don't feel good at all. Ain't nobody wanna get switched up on, or in other words, betrayed by the motherfuckers they thought were their homeboys. Well, over the past 5 years and the amount of shows I've watched, animes for real got some of the craziest switch ups I think I've ever seen. And to show y'all just how diabolical these are, I'ma start off with a very iconic scene when Itachi killed the Uchiha clan in Naruto. Now, if you've never heard of this switch up, you missing out and you don't know balls. So for those of y'all who don't know, let me put you guys on game and give y'all some context to what led up to this. Itachi Uchiha is the older brother of Sasuke and a straight prodigy of the Uchiha clan. This man unlocked his Sharingan at 8 years old and became an Anbu captain at 13. Bro is the definition of if you think you're good at something, there's an Asian kid somewhere in the world 10 times better at it than you are. And around this time of both him and his younger brother growing up, the Uchiha clan was planning a coup to overthrow the village because they felt hella discriminated against under the current village's leadership. And at the young age of 11, Itachi Uchiha was ordered by the village elders to essentially feed them information on the clan's coup and make sure to prevent it by any means necessary. In other words, he was their spy on the Uchiha clan. And this gave Itachi basically two options. He could either snitch to his pops and tell him what the hell was happening, and they could really go through with this shit, saving the entire clan in the process, or he could go through with his orders from the elders and completely switch up on his entire clan. And at first it feels like a no-brainer, and you would obviously pick the first option. Who would ever want to switch up on their entire clan? But the way he weighed his options was all because he experienced warfare at such a young age. He didn't want to see anybody from the village get involved with a civil war, and he feared that if the coup caused by his clan did work, long-term outcome would be another great ninja war happening, and he did not want that shit. So he picked what was the quote-unquote lesser evil in his eyes, which was to eliminate his entire clan and carry out his orders so that the village wouldn't be involved in a greater war. It is actually insane that at only 13 years old, Itachi had to make a choice, and the future of his entire village would depend on this one decision he made. And when he finally made his decision to switch up on his entire clan, he left no room for error. He murked everybody. Imagine just chilling in your room and you see your entire clan getting cooked by a 13-year-old kid. Nobody was stopping this man at all. And probably the craziest part of the entire Uchiha massacre was when he killed his own parents right in front of Sasuke, his little brother. And just put yourself in Sasuke's shoes real quick. Imagine seeing your entire clan got murked and finding out that it was your older brother behind it, the one you looked up to, and he kills your parents. I would think this motherfucker was pure evil the entire time. But if there was anybody that Itachi wasn't willing to kill, it was his younger brother, which was the condition that he wanted in order to carry out any of this in the first place, knowing that Sasuke's life would be spared. But what Itachi wanted at this moment was for Sasuke to hate him so much that he would have the burning desire to grow up and get stronger to eventually kill him. And when that day comes, he would atone for the sins of killing his entire clan. And although it meant that Sasuke's life would be spared, that don't mean he wasn't going to be suffering at all. Because on top of seeing his parents being murdered, in order to sell this act of being purely evil to get Sasuke to hate him and eventually kill him, this dude Itachi put Sasuke into Tsukuyomi. And bro, what I'm about to say next, I don't even wish on my worst enemy. Through this Tsukuyomi, Sasuke witnessed his clan and parents being murdered by Itachi 518,400 times over the course of what felt like 3 days in a second. Bro, god damn, that is OD. Could you imagine only seeing this bullshit for 3 days straight on loop? Bro, at that point, just sign me out. I wouldn't want to live anymore. And bro, I get you want your brother to hate you so that he could eventually off you to atone for your sins, But bro, I think you accomplish your mission if you did this like a couple 2-3 times. You know what I'm saying? Just some slight. Personally, I would think that would be more than enough if anything. I don't think you need to put him through 3 days of pure agony and depression, especially more than 500,000 times within that period is genuinely wild. At that point, you might as well have sentenced him to listen to Dax and Tom McDonald music on repeat for 3 days. Pure cheeks. And while you got Itachi doing all this to protect his brother at the end of the day and was holding on to this secret until the very moment he died by his little brother, you got Reiner and Bertolt switch up being dropped casually out of nowhere in Attack on Titan. This switch up has got to be up there for one of those scenes where you don't even fully process it when you first see it, because it's just so wild and random that there's no way that this story is dead ass. Because most people think of these kind of scenes being a really dramatic build-up reveal that they were the traitor, but this switch up turned those expectations completely upside down. So the scouts are chilling on top of the wall while Reiner and Bertolt are standing by themselves alone menacingly, and they call Eren over to ask to talk to him real quick. So he's like, I bet, for sure, you guys need to tell me some. And this dude Reiner starts off by saying, hey yo, about a few years ago, me and my homeboy did some crazy trauma with Walmaria, you feel? Hello? And right here, if you're watching the anime and sub, there might have been a chance that you missed it because it seems so much like a normal conversation. You kind of just turn your brain off thinking it's just a meaningless convo or something that doesn't really add to the story. And then you just see the captions flash for a second. I'm the Armor Titan and Bertolt is the Colossal Titan. Yo, what? When I watched this shit for the first time, I had to play it back to make sure I wasn't reading it wrong. That's how crazy of a switch up this was. And as random as this was, I gotta say, this might have to be the dumbest way to ever drop this type of information. You're telling me that this man Reiner fully expected that telling Eren this information right here and right now, that he would be fully convinced to join their side and help them, as if he isn't the entire reason why Eren has this burning hatred for Titans. Like bro, if Reiner went up to me and said, hey bro, we are the entire reason why your mom got signed out like a 4 for 4 Wendy's meal and why so many of your friends died, but you should join us because I low-key feel bad, but I got a duty to fulfill back home, so just do as I say like a good boy. I would have looked at him like, potato chip, how hard did you hit your head? Even Bertram over here looking at Reiner like, motherfucker, the fuck you mean we are Titans? I have no clue what this dude is talking about. Bro, imagine being this dude Bertolt and nobody even suspects you and your homeboy being traitors in enemy territory, but then your homeboy's dumbass proceeds to fold under zero pressure on some, ayo bro, they found us, to the one person who absolutely despises them and had a personal vendetta against him since he was a child. Dog, seriously, I'm failing to see what the plan was here. I get that he had a split personality thing going on, but bro, come on. The least that he could have done was tell Bertolt he was going to do this shit so he can plan for what comes next. Cause bro, that's just L coms. He for real did this shit without a second thought and for real thought it was the best idea he could come up with and didn't even think for a second what the consequences would be. And the worst part about this is that you couldn't even wait to make sure that everybody, especially Mikasa, was more than 50 feet away before you told him this bullshit. Mikasa saw Reiner and Bertolt trying to double team her man Eren and she wasn't having that shit at all. Her instincts told her that they were being sus as hell. So when Eren finally told him that his bitch ass was crazy, Reiner was like, what did I just do? The post switch up clarity was for real hitting him because as soon as Eren told bro that he was straight tripping, he just started monologuing about he needs to be a warrior or struggles with being a warrior or something like that. Like dog, Steph Curry does not want your folding ass on his team. Shut that shit up, Anyways, Reiner starts crashing out and tells Eren and Bertolt that they were going to settle this shit right here and right now, but not without Mikasa sneaking them and slashing both of them, almost killing them. But Reiner checks the shit out of her and they transform. Everybody finally sees the motherfuckers behind the attack of Walmaria being Reiner and Bertolt. And in the end of this encounter, Eren gets kidnapped again. Like bro, you might as well call this motherfucker Princess Peach with the amount of times he was getting captured during this series. Like dog, aren't you the main character? Get up, bro. In conclusion, anime switch ups got that shit, bro.